I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My chest felt tight as I stared at my phone. There was my mom, sitting at our family dining table, holding a wine glass, completely unaware she was being shown live on the internet. "Oh, please," my mom said, rolling her eyes. "My daughter thinks selling houses makes her successful. She couldn't handle nursing school, and now she's just drifting through life like a failure." My cousin Samantha had texted me an hour earlier. "You need to see this." "I'm so sorry." She'd sent me a link to her latest live stream. She was trying to become a social media influencer and often shared videos from family events. I was out of town for a real estate conference in Worcester when the family had gathered for Thursday dinner. I had just gotten to my hotel room when I got the message. "My name is Kate Scott. I'm 33 years old. For the last 6 years, I've been quietly paying for my mother's medical care since she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I've been driving her to her doctor appointments, handling her insurance paperwork, and paying for her medication. I've been working 84-hour weeks to keep my real estate business going in Austin." No one at that dinner knew I had emptied my savings account last year when her insurance wouldn't cover a special treatment. "It's really sad," my mom kept talking in the video, clearly enjoying the attention from my aunts and uncles. She used to dream about becoming a nurse, and now all she does is sell houses to people who actually made something of themselves. She laughed. To my shock, my aunt and uncle laughed with her. Samantha's camera had captured it all. It looked like she was filming secretly from her lap, probably trying to show a normal family dinner to her followers. My mom had no idea she was being recorded, which made everything she said feel even more painful. When I dropped out of nursing school, my mom turned to my aunt and said, "She came home crying about how hard the exams were. So pathetic. And now she acts like selling a house once in a while makes her successful." The truth is, I paused my nursing studies so I could take care of her when she got sick. I was doing well in real estate, but every extra dollar I made went toward her medical expenses instead of going back to school. "She just doesn't have what it takes," my mom said with a dramatic sigh, picking up her wine glass. That wine, by the way, was the one I bought for our family dinners. "Some people just aren't made for real success," she added. The live stream went on for another painful minute before Samantha finally pointed the camera away. I sat frozen in my hotel room, tears falling down my face. The truth hit me hard. For years, I told myself that my mom's harsh words came from her pain, or maybe from her old-fashioned way of pushing me to do better. But this wasn't just a bad moment. This was how she really felt. And now I had proof. My phone buzzed again. It was another message from Samantha. "I'm so sorry you had to see that." I didn't realize what she was saying until it was too late. "Do you want me to take the video down?" I stared at the message for a while, then replied, "No. Leave it up. I need to show you something tomorrow when I get back." The drive home from Worcester the next morning was a blur. I barely remembered checking out of the hotel or the 3-hour drive. All I could think about were her words, how she laughed while insulting the career I built to take care of her. 6 years ago, my life was headed in a very different direction. I was 28, halfway through nursing school, and doing well. I had always wanted to become a nurse, so I could help people and make a difference. Then everything changed with one phone call. My mom had collapsed at work and was taken to the hospital. The diagnosis: aggressive rheumatoid arthritis, something that would need constant care and treatment. "This isn't fair," she cried from her hospital bed. "How am I supposed to pay for all of this? The insurance barely covers anything." I held her hand and told her, "We'll figure it out together, Mom." My dad had passed away when I was in high school, so it had just been the two of us since then. Even with her sharp comments and tough attitude, we had always leaned on each other. I thought we had a real bond. Growing up, she worked extra hours and made sacrifices so I could have a better life. I believed it was my turn to give back. So when she got sick, I made a hard choice. I paused my nursing studies and moved into real estate. It gave me flexible hours and enough income to take care of her and pay the bills. At first, I thought it would only be for a little while, just until her health got better and I could save up enough to go back to school. But weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. The treatments helped her feel better, but they were expensive. She needed medicine, specialist visits, and physical therapy. I became the one handling all her healthcare needs. I spent hours on the phone with insurance companies and reading about treatments. Every now and then, she would say, "You've become so responsible." Those few kind words kept me going through sleepless nights and long work days. When I pulled into my driveway, I just sat there quietly for a moment. She didn't know I had come back. She still thought I was in Worcester at the real estate conference. I had ended my trip early after watching that awful video. My phone buzzed. It was Samantha. "I'm at the coffee shop on Medford. Can meet whenever you're ready." I took a deep breath and tried to get my thoughts together. I opened my laptop bag and pulled out a folder labeled Mom, Medical. Inside were 6 years' worth of paperwork. Every payment I had made, insurance bills, medication costs, doctor appointments, was carefully organized with receipts and bank statements. I had kept everything for tax reasons, never thinking I'd one day use it to show how deeply I'd been hurt. I grabbed the folder, took another deep breath, and replied, "Be there in 25 minutes. The coffee shop was full, but I spotted Samantha right away. At 17, she stood out with her bright blue hair and big headphones. When she saw me, her face instantly filled with guilt. "I'm so sorry, Kate," she said as I sat down. I didn't know she'd say those things. I was just doing my usual live stream, and then Aunt Rachel started talking, and it turned ugly so fast. "It's not your fault," I said, stopping her. "Actually, I want to thank you." Samantha looked confused. "Thank me for what?" I placed the folder on the table, opened it, and showed her the documents. "For showing me the truth," I said softly. "I've been paying for everything, her medicine, her treatments, her insurance." Samantha's eyes widened as she looked through the papers. "This is a lot. This is thousands of dollars." "Over $200,000, I said. "I gave up my degree, my savings, even relationships, everything, just to take care of her. I thought she needed me." Samantha looked up from the papers, her shocked face turning into anger. "And she calls you a failure? That's just wrong." I nodded, feeling a strange calm inside me. For years, I believed her harsh words were her way of pushing me to do better. Deep down, I thought she appreciated what I was doing. I gave a bitter laugh. I guess I was wrong. "So, what are you going to do now?" Samantha asked. I took the folder back and answered, feeling my decision become clearer as I spoke. "I'm done. I already have the paperwork ready to take my name off all her accounts." "You're not going to talk to her about it?" I shook my head. "What's the point? She'll just say I'm being dramatic or that I'm too sensitive." I opened my banking app on my phone. For months, I'd been saving a little money every month, hoping to go back to nursing school one day. Now I was finally going to use it for me. As I spoke, I moved the money I had set aside for her next treatment into my personal savings account. It was a small action, but it felt huge. "Wow," Samantha whispered. "Are you sure?" "I've never been more sure," I said. My voice sounded stronger than I expected. "I've spent 6 years being her backup, while she made fun of everything I did. That ends today." I showed Samantha the acceptance letter I had received months ago from the nursing program. I had almost pushed it off again because of my mom's treatments. "I start this fall," I told her, "and I'm not delaying it again." Samantha reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "I'll send you the full video, just in case you ever need it." As we said goodbye, I felt something lift. For the first time in years, I was choosing myself. I thought I would feel guilty, but I didn't. Instead, I felt clear, focused, and ready. The next day, I called the insurance company. "You want to remove yourself as the guarantor on Rachel Scott's accounts?" The woman on the phone asked, confused. "Can I ask why?" "For personal reasons," I said calmly. "I won't be responsible for any payments after this month." It was day 2 of my new plan. I had spent the weekend sorting everything out, calling insurance companies, changing payment info, and writing emails. My dining table was covered with papers as I took apart the financial setup I had built to take care of her. The woman on the phone said, "Miss Scott, just so you know, without your support, your mother's premium will go up a lot. Her coverage may change." "I understand," I said. Then I paused. Can you please send her a letter explaining all of this? I want to make sure she knows exactly what's happening. I knew exactly what I was doing. The letter from the insurance company would arrive in about a week, giving me time to finish the rest of my plan before facing my mom. Since yesterday, my phone hadn't stopped buzzing with her messages. She didn't know what was going on, but she had expected me to drive her to a doctor's appointment that morning. I didn't show up. Where are you? I've been waiting for an hour. The doctor's office called. My insurance card didn't work. Fix it now. Are you ignoring me? Answer your damn phone, Kate. Each message only made me more sure of my decision. I put my phone on silent and kept working. By that evening, I had taken care of most of the money-related tasks. Next, I opened my laptop and wrote an email to my whole extended family. I kept it simple and clear. Dear family, after much thought, I've decided to step away from managing my mother's medical care and finances. For the last 6 years, I've paid for everything related to her illness, over $230,000 in total. This includes insurance premiums, medication, doctor visits, and treatments. I've made this choice for personal reasons, but I wanted to let you all know in case she needs help going forward. Attached is a full breakdown of the support I've provided. If anyone wants to step in, now's the time. This decision wasn't easy. Best regards, Kate. I attached a spreadsheet showing every payment, appointment, and hour I had spent taking care of her. The facts were all there, clear and undeniable. Just like Samantha promised, she had sent me the full video of the live stream. I saved copies on my computer, cloud storage, and a USB drive. I didn't know how or when I might need it, but I had a feeling it could be important later. Then the doorbell rang. It made me jump. I looked through the peephole and saw my mother standing there, her face twisted in anger. Kate, I know you're in there. Open this door right now. My heart was pounding. I stayed quiet, watching her shadow move outside the door. You've missed 5 of my calls. The pharmacy says my refill was denied. What are you doing? I took a deep breath and answered, loud and clear through the door. I'm not doing this anymore, Mom. You'll get a letter from the insurance company soon. Please read it carefully. What are you talking about? Open this door. No. That one word felt strong coming out of my mouth. I know what you really think of me, I said. I think it's time we both moved on with our lives. There was a moment of silence before she burst out. Is this about money? After everything I've done for you? I almost laughed at how backward that sounded. Goodbye, Mom. Please don't come back. As she shouted louder, I walked away from the door and sat back down at my laptop to finish what I had started. With every step, I felt lighter, like I was finally letting go of a heavy weight I'd carried for too long. The reactions came quickly. Within hours of sending my email, my phone lit up with messages. Aunt Lauren said she was shocked and disappointed. Uncle Peter called me selfish and heartless. My cousin Brandon said I should fix things with Mom and stop being dramatic. Only Samantha and, to my surprise, my elderly Aunt Christina supported me. Christina sent a short message. It takes courage to stand up for yourself, dear. Call me if you need anything. I blocked my mom's number first. Then I muted the family members who didn't even ask to hear my side. After that, everything felt quiet and peaceful. 5 days later, I sat in the admissions office at Austin City Nursing School, finalizing my re-enrollment for the fall. You've been away from the program for a while, Miss Scott, the advisor said while looking at my records. But your past grades are strong. You'll need to take a placement test to see if you need any review classes. I understand, I said, feeling a wave of excitement. I've already started reading my old textbooks. Walking around campus afterward, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, a sense of belonging. This was where I was meant to be. I was finally chasing my own dreams, not living my life around someone else's needs. My real estate business would need to change. I planned to take fewer clients, focus on higher-priced homes, and hire a part-time assistant to help with the paperwork. I knew I'd earn less, but now that I wasn't paying for my mother's care, I could manage. When I got home, I found a formal envelope in the mail. It was a letter from the insurance company, addressed to my mom but sent to me by mistake. It explained the changes in her plan and how her costs would go up since I was no longer the one responsible. I should have felt bad, but I didn't. I felt justified. Then my phone rang. It was Samantha. "Have you seen what's going on in the family group chat?" she asked right away. "I left those chats," I said. "What's happening?" "Your mom is telling everyone that you've had a mental breakdown. She says your business is failing, and that's why you're acting this way." I could hear the sarcasm in Samantha's voice. She's completely changing the story. I let out a sigh. Not surprised. That's what she always does. "That's not all," Samantha added. She didn't know I was still in the group chat. She convinced Aunt Lauren to let her stay with her for now, just until she figures out her medical stuff. "Of course she did," I said, shaking my head. Mom always finds someone else to save her. After we hung up, I opened my laptop and looked at the video file Samantha had sent me, the live stream that changed everything. I hadn't watched it since that painful night in the hotel. My finger hovered over the play button. There was power in that video. It showed who my mother really was when she thought no one was watching. It could prove I wasn't lying. It could clear my name. But did I need to prove anything? The people who believed her without ever asking me what happened, were they even worth convincing? I closed the laptop without playing the video. I had it if I ever needed it. But right now, I had more important things to do. My nursing school application was done. I had scheduled my placement test. For the first time in years, I was planning my own future, not fixing someone else's problems. The insurance letter was still on my counter, a reminder of the shift I had made. I picked up a new envelope and wrote my mother's real address on it. I placed the letter inside with a short note. "This came to my address by mistake. Please read it carefully." No signature. No emotion. Just the truth. I dropped it in the mailbox and felt another weight lift off me. Her problems were hers now, not mine. 3 weeks passed quietly. I spent every free moment getting ready for nursing school, studying in between real estate showings and meetings. My placement test was on Saturday, and with each practice test, I felt more ready and more confident. Then came the surprise. I had just finished showing a 2-bedroom house in Somerville when I noticed them in my rearview mirror, my mother and Aunt Lauren, standing next to Mom's car in the parking lot. My first instinct was to drive away, but they had already seen me. Leaving would only delay the moment. I took a deep breath and stepped out of the car. "Sinead," my mom said with a fake sweet voice, "we need to talk." I could see the stress on her face. Her hair was messy, and she leaned heavily on her cane, a cane she usually only used when she wanted people to notice her illness. "I have nothing to say," I told her, holding my car keys tightly in my hand. Aunt Lauren stepped forward. "Your mother is struggling, Kate. Her medication costs have gone way up, and she can't get appointments with her doctors anymore. Is this what you wanted?" "What I wanted," I said calmly, "was to be treated with basic respect. What I wanted was appreciation for 6 years of sacrifice. What I wanted was a mother who didn't call me a desperate failure behind my back." My mother's face turned pale. "What are you talking about?" "I saw the video, Mom," I said. "Samantha's live stream from the family dinner." I looked her in the eye. "I heard every word you said about me." Her expression changed, first a flash of guilt, then anger. "You're taking it out of context. I was just letting off steam. Everyone does that." Aunt Lauren looked confused. "Video? Rachel, what is she talking about?" I almost laughed. My mom hadn't even told her closest supporters about the video. Maybe she thought I'd never find out. "Show her the video if you want," I said to my mom. "Or don't. It doesn't matter. I've made my choice." My mother suddenly changed her tone. Her voice cracked. "I'm your mother, Kate. After everything I've done for you, how can you walk away when I need you most?" Something inside me broke loose. 6 years of bottled-up feelings came rushing out. "Everything you've done for me?" I repeated in disbelief. "Let me tell you what I've done for you. I put my life on hold. I spent over $200,000 on your care. I drove you to every doctor's visit. I filled every prescription. I fought with insurance companies day and night. And how did you thank me? You called me pathetic. You made fun of the job I took to support you. My hands were shaking, but my voice was firm. I sent proof to everyone in the family. Every payment, every appointment, every moment I gave up for you. So don't stand there pretending I'm the bad guy. Aunt Lauren's face changed. She was now looking at my mom with doubt. Rachel, she said slowly. What exactly was in that video? My mother didn't answer. Instead, she turned back to me, still trying to sound upset. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but this is too much. I'm dealing with serious health issues. I know, I said calmly. And I supported you through all of it for 6 years. Now it's someone else's turn. I turned to Aunt Lauren. She's staying with you now, right? Has she asked you for money yet? How many times have you taken her to the doctor? How many prescriptions have you picked up? Her silence gave me the answer. That's what I thought, I said, turning back toward my car. I wish you both well, but I won't be controlled anymore. This isn't over, my mother shouted behind me. You can't just walk away from family. I stopped, my hand on the car door. You're right about one thing, Mom. Real family doesn't walk away from each other. But real family also doesn't tear you down or use you. So maybe think about who really walked away first. As I drove off, I glanced in the rearview mirror. My mother was waving her arms and clearly yelling at Aunt Lauren. Some things never change, I thought. But I had changed. As I headed home to study for my nursing exam, I noticed something for the first time in years. I didn't feel guilty. I felt free. 2 months passed in a blur of busy days and new beginnings. I passed my nursing placement exam, got into the accelerated program for returning students, and reorganized my real estate business to fit my new school schedule. I hired Cheryl, a smart college student, as my part-time assistant. She handled paperwork and helped schedule showings while I was in class. It wasn't always easy. There were late nights, mix-ups in my calendar, and moments where I doubted myself. But with each small win, I felt more sure that I had made the right choice. The weight I had carried for so long was finally gone. I woke up each day with fresh energy and purpose. Things with my family settled into an uncomfortable quiet after the parking lot confrontation. But a week later, Aunt Lauren reached out to me. Over coffee, she said, I had no idea what you were going through. Rachel told me you were being difficult and selfish. I should have asked for your side. It's okay, I said, and I meant it. Mom's always been good at controlling the story. That same month, I was surprised to be nominated for an award by my broker. It was the Austin Real Estate Association's Resilience in Real Estate Award, given to agents who faced big challenges but still kept their business going. I was touched. You're a guaranteed winner, my coworker Jason told me at our weekly meeting. You've closed more deals than anyone else here and started nursing school. If that's not resilience, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I hadn't expected to win, but I was really looking forward to the ceremony. It felt like a chance to celebrate everything I had achieved, both in my career and in my personal life. The night of the event arrived. I stood in a hotel ballroom, surrounded by people from Austin's real estate world. I wore a dark blue dress I had bought just for this occasion, my first non-work-related treat in years. After picking up a glass of champagne from a passing server, I chatted with colleagues and reconnected with old contacts I hadn't seen in a long time. Kate Scott, someone called out. I turned and saw Megan Mullally, one of the most successful brokers in Austin. I was hoping to see you here, she said. I've heard great things about your work in Somerville. We talked about recent market trends, and to my surprise, I felt relaxed and confident. It was a welcome change from the stressed-out version of myself I used to be. Then my phone buzzed inside my clutch. I ignored it at first, wanting to stay in the moment. But when it buzzed again a minute later, I stepped away politely and checked the screen. 5 missed calls from a number I didn't recognize and a text. It's Samantha. Using Uncle Dylan's phone. Emergency. Call back ASAP. A knot tightened in my stomach. I stepped into a quiet hallway and called back. Samantha, what's going on? I'm so sorry to bother you, she said quickly. I'm at the hospital with your mom. She fell. The doctors think it might be a bad reaction to her new medicine. She's asking for you. I closed my eyes, waiting for the usual rush of guilt and panic. It came, but this time it felt smaller. I could handle it. Is she stable? I asked. Yes, Samantha said. But they're keeping her overnight. I didn't want to call you, but Uncle Dylan said I should. I heard some voices in the background, then Dylan got on the phone. Kate, it's Dylan. Look, I know things have been rough, but your mom needs you. The doctors have questions about her medical history that we can't answer. As we spoke, I saw people heading into the ballroom for the awards presentation. It was about to begin. I understand, I said, already deciding what to do. But I'm at an important work event right now. I'll come to the hospital afterward. Dylan's voice sharpened. This is your mother. Surely whatever party you're at can wait. The old me would have dropped everything and rushed over. But I wasn't that version of myself anymore. I'll be there in about 3 hours, I said clearly. Please let the doctors know I'll answer anything they need then. And Dylan, thank you for being there with her. I ended the call and took a deep breath. I turned to head back into the ceremony and caught a glimpse of myself in a mirror. My shoulders were back, head held high, and my eyes looked clear. For the first time in years, I actually recognized the person staring back at me. And the winner of the Resilience in Real Estate Award goes to Kate Scott. The room filled with applause. I froze for a moment, completely surprised. I truly didn't expect to win. Jason nudged me with a big grin, and I stood up, walking to the stage. The crystal trophy felt heavy and real in my hands. As I stepped up to the microphone, I looked out at the crowd, familiar faces from work, mentors, and even past competitors. All of them were clapping for me. The feeling was overwhelming. Thank you, I began, my voice stronger than I expected. This means more than I can say. The last few years have been tough, I continued. Balancing a demanding job with personal responsibilities hasn't been easy. There were so many days I wanted to give up. I paused, thinking of all the late nights I spent researching treatment options for my mom, and the early mornings I dragged myself to property showings after sleepless nights. But real estate isn't just about selling homes, I said. It's about pushing through hard times, adjusting when things change, and finding answers even when it feels impossible. Those same skills, I explained, had helped me get through my struggles and led me back to my first passion, nursing. The room grew quiet with interest. I'm now studying nursing while still working with my real estate clients, I added. And I've never been happier. This award isn't just about professional success. It's proof that we can start over and grow at any point in life. Thank you for this honor. As I returned to my seat, the applause followed me. Jason and other coworkers gave me hugs and handshakes, their pride clear. After the ceremony, a few people came over, curious about my journey and excited to hear more about my path into nursing. When I finally looked at my phone, it was almost 10 p.m. I had 5 missed calls from Uncle Dylan and a text from Samantha. She's stable. Take your time. I packed up my things, carefully placing the trophy in my tote bag, said goodbye to a few people, and headed out. The hospital was about a 30-minute drive. I used that time to get my thoughts in order and prepare for the talk I knew was coming. When I walked into the hospital room, I found my mom sitting up in bed. She looked surprisingly alert for someone who had just gone through a serious medical scare. Uncle Dylan was in the chair next to her, and Samantha stood by the window, looking unsure. My mom looked at me and said, "Finally." I walked into the room. My mom's tone was sharp. "Nice of you to fit us into your busy schedule." I set down my tote bag, the corner of the trophy box sticking out. "Hi, Mom. I came as soon as my event ended. How are you feeling?" "How do you think I'm feeling?" she snapped. I collapsed. "I could have died, and you were too busy partying to care." Uncle Dylan cleared his throat, clearly uneasy. The doctor said it was likely a reaction to the new medication. They've adjusted it, and she should be fine to go home tomorrow. I nodded, keeping my voice calm. That's good news. I'm glad it wasn't more serious. My mom's face twisted with anger. This never would have happened if you hadn't left me. My new insurance is useless. I can't afford most of my medicine. These new doctors don't know my history like my old ones did. I'm sorry to hear that, I said gently. I know it must be hard adjusting to new care. My calm response seemed to make her even more upset. That's all you have to say? After everything you've done to me? I looked at Samantha. Her face showed both embarrassment and sympathy. She gave me a quiet nod. Mom, I said softly, I took care of you for 6 years. I put my life on hold to make sure you had the best care. I paid for your treatments. I was always there. And how did you repay me? You called me a desperate failure. You laughed at the career that helped keep you alive. You laughed at my dreams. Uncle Dylan's brow furrowed. What are you talking about, Kate? Samantha stepped forward. The video, Uncle Dylan. The live stream I accidentally recorded during dinner a few months ago. Mom didn't tell you. My mother's face turned pale. That's not important. Kate is twisting everything to make herself look good. I reached into my tote bag and pulled out the trophy. I set it on the bedside table, where the light hit the engraved words clearly. Resilience in Real Estate, Kate Scott. I won an award tonight, I said to Uncle Dylan, for keeping my business going through difficult times. Those hard times included 6 years of paying for Mom's care, financially and medically, while she made fun of my success behind my back. I saw understanding in Uncle Dylan's eyes as he looked at the trophy, then at my mom's defensive expression. I didn't come here to argue, I said. I came because you needed information and I wanted to make sure you were okay. I don't wish you harm, Mom. I never have. I just couldn't keep giving up my life for someone who didn't value it. The room went quiet. For once, my mom didn't have anything to say. No snappy comeback, no guilt trips. She just stared at the trophy, the clear proof of the success she had mocked so easily. I should go, I said gently. I have class early tomorrow. Samantha, want me to give you a ride home? As we left, I heard Uncle Dylan's voice, low and serious, asking my mom something. The conversation I had avoided for months was finally happening. But this time, I didn't have to fight to be heard. 2 months later, I stood in my white uniform, hands steady as I placed in 4 for a patient. My nursing instructor watched closely and gave a nod of approval. Excellent work, Scott. Your clinical skills are improving fast. I smiled as I finished securing the line. Thank you. It feels like everything's finally coming together. After my shift at the teaching hospital, I walked to my car and checked my phone. A message from Samantha popped up. Prof interview going viral. 30K views already. I laughed and shook my head in disbelief. Last week, I had done an interview with the Austin Medical Journal about people changing careers and going into nursing later in life. The interviewer had asked how my real estate background helped me in healthcare. Both fields need attention to detail, strong communication, and the ability to guide people through big life changes, I had explained. And both taught me the importance of setting boundaries, something every healthcare worker needs. As I drove home, my phone rang through the car's Bluetooth. The number wasn't saved. Hello. Kate, it's Dylan. My uncle's voice sounded a bit unsure. Do you have a minute? I stiffened a little. Is everything okay? Yes, everything's fine. He paused. I saw your interview. It was really inspiring. Thank you, I said, surprised by his kind words. Your mother saw it too, he added quietly. I held my breath, waiting for him to tell me what hurtful things she had said this time. She didn't say much, Dylan continued. But I think seeing you in that nursing uniform, it finally hit her. You're actually doing it, becoming a nurse, just like you always wanted. I pulled into my driveway and left the car running as I let his words sink in. I'm proud of you, Kate, he said softly. And I'm sorry I didn't realize what was really going on sooner. The simple words brought tears to my eyes. Thank you, Dylan, I said. That means a lot. After we hung up, I sat there for a moment, grateful, hopeful, and more at peace than I had been in years. I sat quietly for a moment, thinking about how much had changed in less than a year. The trophy I won for real estate now sat on my shelf beside my nursing textbooks, a clear reminder of both what I had achieved and where I was headed. My mom and I still weren't speaking, but I had made peace with that. I no longer looked for approval from someone who couldn't give it. Instead, I found pride in my own progress, in the patients who thanked me, in the moments I felt confident in my work and in the recognition I received for pushing through hard times. As I walked into my home, my safe space, I smiled at the stack of nursing journals on the coffee table. Tonight, I would study for next week's exam. Maybe I'd call Samantha later to catch up. Tomorrow, I had 2 property showings between classes. My life was full, meaningful, and finally mine. The call from Dylan had been a nice surprise, a moment of kindness I hadn't expected. But even without it, I was happy. Whether or not my mother ever accepted my choices no longer shaped who I was. I had taken back control of my life, my future, and most importantly, my self-worth. And as I sat down to study, I knew that was the biggest win of all.